still getting a lot of interest. We're still seeing lots of people try to do them, but they're not raising a lot of capital anymore. So to your point of crowdfunding didn't kill venture capital, ICOs were supposed to do that too, and that didn't happen. Maybe Jonas, your thoughts on why that kind of investment didn't really change completely the environment of fundraising, and just generally where you see that at?
So first of all, the name of your institute is crypto asset, meaning that people, are crypto in their mindset. That means that they don't want to be regulated. They don't want to be, in something that is short, is something that is not big. Everything is emotional, and it's not really rational. So that's the difference between the VC sometimes and also some ICOs, because ICOs is very emotional. You do a good trailer, you get a good board, and sometimes some people just put some money into that, that project. So this is a new way based on the emotion. And our job, and also the job of the regulators, are to create something that will bound that people and protect investors, because everyone in this room can be an investor, and everyone, as you just said, Matthieu, can lose the money. So what we have to do is to create new agreements, new regulation. Let's take an example, a white paper. The white paper will be very crucial and very essential regarding the whole deal, because it will foresee all the problems and all the issues that you can get into like that type of investment. So what we have to do is to make it normal, because from now on the crypto economy and also the token economy was really emotional driving, and we have to put something much more rational in it, and that's the job of the regulators and also the job of the lawyers.
So we talk about the ICO thing. The big thing that's coming for ICOs is regulation, because the monetary authorities see those very clearly as securities, which means investments that have to be have regulatory oversight. Actually, we have crowdfunding because laws were made or changed that allowed for crowdfunding to happen. So the same thing is now happening. Here in France, we have the PACT law that now changed a bunch of things recently for how we can tax capital that's been raised in an ICO, capital gains on trading crypto, all kinds of different things. So that's really encouraging. You also have an interesting project in Monaco that's a very similar thing, if you want to mention that.
Yes, because today, many countries trying to regulate that, and they have various choices. Countries like Malta or Estonia trying to get some investment, so they are very attractive and they allow many things, but that's not something that is a real security for the investors, because sometimes we find some projects that are not really based on something that is very rational. In France, we found a good balance between attractiveness but also protection. And you are talking about Monaco, and Monaco, 1 week ago, decided to make something that is a choice that could be sometimes astonishing, because they decided to put all the ICOs in one field, and that field will be the green field, the green technology related to the blockchain economy and to the ICO. So tomorrow you will have many countries that will have some choice based on what they want to do, if they want to attract some money or if they want to protect the investors, but also based on what field they want to attract and what kind of economy they want to create. So that's a way to see that ICO and blockchain are now a real part of the economy. It's not a fantasy. It's not sometimes many billions of funds, and so that's important. And so, as I said just before, we have to make it rational and not emotional.
And so that takes us in the next piece, because a lot of people are, if they hear the word ICO and they're thinking blockchain or crypto, that has absolutely nothing to do with what my startup or what my business is doing, so that doesn't interest me. But what is interesting is that ICOs have now taken us into the next place, which is security tokens, or more importantly, if we call them tokenized securities. And this is where the regulation piece really gets fun, because so we can make this about blockchain startups, we can make it about startups, but more importantly, we can talk about just small and medium businesses. There's a $4 trillion funding gap in Europe alone for small businesses, money they need to grow they can't find. We have things like real estate that we could change the way that we invest into. We have intellectual property like patents and film and music and art. All kinds of amazing different ways that we could do that. And so tokenized securities are basically the idea of kind of taking the ICO approach of tokenizing these things, breaking them down into small pieces, and allowing us to invest in all these other asset types. And so that's going to be very interesting. Well, now the regulators are catching up, and they're making it possible. They're passing the frameworks that they need to do to make that work. So I think with that idea,